and welcome to Baritone Cult. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about songwriting, and I'm going to play an example, and I'm going to show you the two parts and how I combine those. So if you're writing a song and you want to add a clean section where there's some melody, or you want to lengthen it to give you some rooms, or you want to play around and, put some synth, put some really cool stuff on it, that's kind of what this section is about. It's maybe a minute and a half, something like that. It's at the end of the song, and it's just really fun. So I'm going to play you part 1 and part 2. They bob and weave, and they harmonize with each other a little bit. I'll play them individually, and then I'll play them on here to show you what they sound like. And then after that, what we would do is we want to play with it for a minute. We want to see what other sounds we can coax out of it. So the foundation is laid. I write the song in my head out here. When it's ready to record, we record. And John and I will lay the foundation of a song down in a couple hours because I'm, primed and ready to play. And so let me play you part 1 and part 2. So that would be, you could say, one repetition, whatever you want to call it. So that's part 1. So we've got that recorded in there. Okay, great. That sounds wonderful. What do we want to add on there? Well, I already had a part written in my head, so boom, we'll lay that on there. If you don't, when you're writing, record what you have. Whatever way works for you for songwriting, you got to do you. So let me play the second part. Now we played that over that. So I'm going to play them and I'm going to connect them, which is not how they are in the song. One is on top of the other. But let me play them together so you can see how they fuse. So right at the end, right here, that's like a little turnaround. So I try to have something a little creative. And I do that in a lot of different areas. I'll show you an example when we get to the other section. Let's say you're running through your stuff 4 times and you need a turnaround on the 4th time. Well, maybe put the turnaround in on the 4th time and then do it the 2nd time. Just to try to keep the listener guessing, because there's no vocals. So when you're doing the instrumental music, you want to kind of bring someone on a journey, on a little ride. And so what we're talking about here is just a little melodic ride in the song. And we will have bass on this to follow. We flesh that out. Then we'll have the keyboard, the synth, and we'll flesh that out. That's the fun part. We save that for the end. That's like the syrup on the sundae. So we just love doing that, and when we do that, we hit play, record, and we just improvise. And that's kind of how we've always done it from the beginning. And that's a lot of fun. But let me pause, and I'm going to play this section on here, and you can hear those parts on each other where there's harmonization. And it's really cool. So if you have a section in a song, that's an idea you could try. So let me play it for you. Okay, so there was an example of two clean parts on top of each other. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to play around with maybe some lead stuff. Now this is a longer section, so we can have notes in there that are having a longer pause. We can have some slides all the way up and down the fretboard. We're going to have some notes in there that might not resolve, that kind of just, leave you hanging a little bit. So let me play this, and I'll just kind of throw something together. I wish I had something mapped out already, but that's, I guess, the cool thing about this video, because everything is, we're still in the writing process with this. I don't have a solo like fleshed out or whatever. And so what I'm going to do is I'll play a few things, and then we'll stop. And then you kind of go, okay, I like this idea, I like that idea. And you kind of cherry pick. And then you just keep cooking the meat until you're ready to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And then you take the certain parts and then you put them on there. So let's check this out. So that's what I'll do. We'll just continue to play on that, Maybe it's going to be an hour. Maybe it's going to be 2. Maybe I'll do it for a week. Whatever it takes. And, knowing some theory is going to be helpful with any songwriting, because you're going to know exactly where you can go and where you can't go. And remember, there are no rules, though. I just think it's helpful. So that's one thing to think of. And I'm somebody who haven't figured it out. And I'm really critical of myself. And I probably put more time in on this instrument than I need to. Just like you guys. I love music. I love trying to create it. That's the funnest thing in the world. John and I spend a lot of time wrapping this stuff up. And so I hope some of this stuff comes through to you guys. We got a lot of music out there, This music is for Blind Peaker, our new project. And we might be 7 songs in right now. So I'm going to rewind this a little bit. I'm going to give you a different section. And then I'm going to put on that Earthquaker Devices Sono pedal. But before I do that, I'm going to kind of play that section for you in a clean tone. And listen for the turnaround. Because you can throw those in there. And I'll point it out so you know where it's at. So here's the next section before I play it. But I'm going to play it in the clean tone. That's the section right there. Now here's the turnaround. Then we go right back into it. So that's another thing in songwriting. We're having a circular rhythm thing. That's what I'm showing you. It's just a circular rhythm pattern, and then having a turnaround in there keeps the listener anticipating, or keeps them intrigued. With instrumental music, you want to grab somebody, you want to take them on a little journey, a little ride. You want to keep people guessing. You want to keep people engaged. I don't know how well we do that, but it sure in the hell is fun, creating and making music and just trying different things and trying to challenge yourself. So let me play that part. I'll kick this pedal on, and some of the stuff is going to be a little similar that I was just playing, but we're just finding our way. We're keeping it fun. And so let's do that a minute here. So that example that I just played for you over that section, it's not perfect. What we're doing is we're finding our way. We're bobbing and weaving. We're trying to see what's going to work. And I guess the cool thing about seeing this now, there'll be an end product, and that will be all fleshed out. And so we lay the foundation of the song down. We didn't lay bass down on this yet. We didn't lay synth down, which is the last thing. So, write the song, program the drums, and, when it's all done at the end, we'll send it off to our drummer, and he will put his spin on it. And we don't have any creative rules. We don't ever send anything back and say, oh, change this, and, just try to keep it like fun, for everybody that's involved, because everybody wants to put their creative spin on things. So I really don't get attached to too many things. I know with bass, John has tons of good ideas, and he's got great ideas on, let's do this with this ending, and let's make this wide, and okay, we need one note here or something like that. So maybe we can continue on with the songwriting and continue to show you, the process more. But I want to show you one more thing in this song, and it's 2 distorted guitars with a little bit of harmonization going on. And it's really neat because it's the same thing that I just showed you with the clean part. And let's listen to that a second. And it's kind of catchy, and there's some weird notes in there, and it makes the listener go, oh man, I wasn't expecting that. So So we let it go a little bit longer into the next section. And we gave that section some length. So it's okay to do stuff really simple. And if you have a simple idea, perfect. Start with that. Give it some repetitions, some length, and play something similar over it or harmonize something with it. And that keeps, it keeps it fun. It keeps it creative. It keeps it it keeps it unique. And, with the next section that we kind of heard, it's just a few like simple chords and it goes on. The drums are kind of cool right there, I thought. But I'm not going to go in there and do a guitar solo on it. There might be some single note stuff, John might be like, hey, we need to put this bit crusher here with some reverb on it or something like that. Rate that note right there or something. Or when we do like the synth and keyboard, which John and I, that's our absolute favorite thing to do. We love doing that. It's just bliss when we do that, It's just one of the things that we both really enjoy. And when we do that, we hit the red button, we go, and we improvise. Every single time, we've done it right out of the gate. And, sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes we're finding our way. But usually we'll go through and we'll nail it. And the cool thing is we're just trying to do something different that nobody's doing, something kind of off in left field a little bit. And when you're paving your own path, it keeps it fun because you're not trying to sound like anybody else, because if you were to say, well, Erin, what are your influences? Well, heck, I don't know. Pink Floyd, Slayer, I like everything, and John has a completely different set of stuff that he likes, which is awesome. So, wide range of music. We touched on a little bit of doing some clean stuff and layering two different parts together, and then maybe doing a little bit of lead stuff over that. I'm going to pump the brakes. I hope some of this was helpful. And, it's all we do around here. We're not going to do any plug-in demos or anything like that. I really think that if I'm able to project this in a video of how to do some songwriting, you guys might really dig it. Once in a while we do videos on a piece of gear or whatever. It's because we're using it. No one's sending us anything or anything like that. And we do have a couple cool pieces, I know for the last year and a half we've been using API preamps, and we love that. And those have been really cool. But we'll catch you in the next one. I hope anything was helpful in here. Stay tuned for the next one.